All right, knock me off. I was trying to, Jarvis, come back on. I was trying to, and it knocked me off. That's weird. That's never happened before. Not like that. So hopefully, let me call him right quick.
Please stand by for an important message.
Oh my gosh. God, I have to update. Hopefully he's on my page. He just was trying to get on. Hey, try again. It knocked me off for whatever reason, so I'm back on again. Yeah, but nothing was coming up through. I saw something, but it didn't knock me off. So go back to my page and see if you can see me talking or whatever. And I know. Let's go ahead because I'm on. I don't know why it knocked me off. I'm gonna stay on my phone till you get on because I'm on my house phone right now. All right, guys, we're gonna be starting in just a minute. So if you see me with the phone up, there you are. Okay, I'm gonna hang up. All right, bye. Okay, I'm here. Bring him on camera. Yeah, I'm about to do that. He's trying to come. There he is. Okay. Hey, I know we gotta hurry up because you got a situation over there.
Yes,
How much news do you have?
I don't
Oh, you
know.
got
We finna
lights.
see.
Oh, you got
We finna see.
lights. Okay. All
No,
right.
no, 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 no. That's my iPad.
Oh, that's just iPad. Oh, we gotta.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Oh,
my
it's still
iPad in
dark.
the back.
Okay. All right. So, guys, he's in Florida again, where we got weather, and it's knocked him out of power. But he's on his iPad, and hopefully that got enough juice to let us go for a little bit. Because we're going to talk a little bit about finances. And so, hello, Mr. Wright. How are you? Other
Listen,
than the craziness, huh?
we just gonna flow with it. Just turned off. I ain't got time to play with it. We just gonna flow with it.
Oh,
I'm doing
okay.
fantastic. How are you doing?
I am doing wonderful. I'm glad you were able to make it regardless of the issues that we're having. And I know I'm gonna have to bring you back on another day where we won't have to be going through the craziness. But because I just got knocked off and I'm trying to get on my computer. It is going slow, so I don't know what's happening. I know it's really hot here though today. Really, really hot. It said it feels like 102. So anyway, so we're going to talk a little bit about finances, and I know you are the man. You are the man that knows a lot about finances. So can you first of all tell us a little bit about yourself? Where I just told him that you're in Florida, but tell us a little bit about yourself and what got you into doing what you're doing now, and yeah, let's go with that question first of all.
First, I'm gonna say thank you for inviting me onto your channel to speak with your people,
Yes.
your tribe, and your followers. And yes, we are here in crazy Florida, where there's no power. We'll get some soon, especially where I live. They rush and make sure these people taken care of, and we happen to be a byproduct of it. That'll go across a lot of y'all head. Um, but yeah, 40 years young
What?
as of this year.
Did you say 40?
This
Like a 40? You
Yes,
was the
this
40?
past May 5th.
Wow. Okay.
Country bunking, uh, raised up on a farm, love wow, it's taking me really. Yes, it's really, really, really taking me back. Loved growing my own fruits and vegetables. At the years that I was growing up, learning how to, cultivate dirt and all that stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
playing with the chickens and the cows and the hogs, all of that crazy stuff that I did growing up. It's really
Uh-huh.
starting to set in now that I've hit the 4-0. Got up a little bit in age, a little bit around, I would say 8 or 9. Fell in love with basketball, and
Okay.
that's what I stuck with, man, all the way up into 20. I still have it in me now, but I made that a huge part of my life up until about 2012, 2013. Playing basketball. Middle school, well, elementary, round ball, middle school, to high school, to college, proud dropout, and then on to the professional level with hopes of getting into the NBA. And father passed away 2010 when I had my a good shot. And for a long time I said that maybe it just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
For that type of event to take place at such a critical time in my life. To wow, you know what? This here was meant to be what I'm doing now.
Okay.
So it wasn't that wasn't meant to be, even though I was extremely talented and I didn't understand how anything would interfere with that. It's more so, what I'm doing now was just meant to be.
Okay.
So that's where I'm here. That's where I'm at today, and I'm sure we'll talk about that a little bit more.
Right. So you're saying that you played basketball, you were great at basketball, and your dad passed in 2010. Is that right?
Yes.
2010. So did that somehow kind of made that decision for you when you didn't continue, or you just decided, oh, I want to just do something else? How did that come about?
Well, when my dad passed away, we had multiple family businesses.
Okay.
Scrap iron, sod and irrigation, lawn care, produce stand, and then lakefront. So I grew up working, hard. Miss Rochelle, I'm not exaggerating. I would literally, my dad had 5 boys. We would get up at like 4 a.m. At this time, I'm like 10, 11, 12. We'll get up at 4 a.m., get in the truck, load the trailer, go out to Yalaha where my grandmother lived, where we had a couple acres of land at, and where we grew everything. Also, during the times when it wasn't time to crop, that's where we took all of our air conditioning AC units out in the country with our torches and burnt our big fires and everything we needed to do in order to do that. So we would get up at 4 a.m. and go out there and be wide open at work and come home
at 10 and
take a
11.
shower, eat,
Go to
and we're going to
school.
school.
Wow. So you learned early on how to hustle. Not hustle, but work. You were starting a work ethic at that point at a very young age. So when the other kids was going to school, you didn't already had a day's work, and you had to go to school, and you had to come home and do your homework, and hopefully get to bed at a halfway decent hour to get back up at 11, at 10, 8, 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. in the morning. So that was a different type of upbringing, a little bit, right?
Oh my gosh. And it's so crazy because even though we had the type of father that we had, and
what does that mean exactly? Can you tell me, what does that mean?
he was a man of principle.
Okay.
He was a man of principle. He was the king of the house, but you ain't got no business in the bed. You ain't finna sleep longer than him. You ain't finna sleep longer than him. And
so he goes against all the
no,
normal. He goes against
hey,
the
get up,
normal.
Get up, find something to do. Find something
Oh,
to do, but you don't need to be in his sleep, you know. And my dad was a military guy, you know, but he was
oh,
tough,
okay.
man.
There we go.
My father was tough, man. You was gonna get you was gonna make sure you did what you had to do for the family, then everything else was next. And while doing all of that, our friends would laugh about certain things, right? Like call us some of the names of the things we were growing. Like my brother Robert, my second oldest brother, a lot of his friends would call him okra. You know what I'm saying? They would call him okra,
Okay.
you know, because that okra was a vegetable that we were growing.
Okay.
So I'm saying all that to say this. Even though we worked extremely hard as kids on our family business, that's key, on our family business, not on somebody else's job. Everything we did, that fed our family, not some other man or woman. That fed us. Now, we didn't know what that meant back then, but when I look back now at the sacrifice, I'm like, man, you know, we were doing that for us. We was doing that for the family, right?
Right, right.
We were still able to have a childhood.
Okay.
We didn't miss anything. We always played multiple sports, always stayed gone. We had the bicycles. We had the basketball goals that everybody would come and play at. I had every single game that came out, from the Atari to the Sega Genesis to the PlayStation to the Super Nintendo to all of the PlayStation 1s, 2s, the Xboxes. Every game that came out. And back then, you know, people wasn't too keyed in on just going to buy that game because it was $500-$600. That was a lot of money.
Right. For
And
most people.
and
Yeah.
and that was a lot of money in 1996, 97, 98.
That's a lot of money now if
Well, I
people
mean,
go out and buy games. But
well, yeah,
so I get
it's a
what you're
lot of
saying,
money
a lot
now.
more then. So there's a lot of money even now, even
Right.
though I know people do it, but I'm just saying, yeah.
So
So
so we
needless to
still had.
say, yeah. So needless to say, even though your dad was he was out there, you know, getting you guys up. Not the traditional, because a lot of people would say our babies need to get their sleep. No, they said
Right.
no. Y'all time to get up, and but y'all still had a childhood. You still were
Oh
able
yeah.
to do something. So now let's get into the finances part. So you grew up. I guess it would be safe to say that you guys wasn't necessarily living paycheck to paycheck.
Nah, you know what, Miss Rochelle? I was born in 1984. I'm gonna give you a little substance. I was born in 1984. When I turned 2 years old, we moved into a brick home.
Okay.
And I stayed in that home all of my life until 2002 when our house burnt down.
Oh, okay.
And when that house burnt down, we went back there. We rebuilt it. So we were very stable. I only lived in one place my entire life, you know, up until I became an adult. So the times that were hard, we didn't remember it. I was a baby
Okay.
when those
Right.
times was hard. But when 1996 came, I'm in middle school.
Right.
This is when life completely started to change for me and my family. In 1996,
Okay.
that's when everything started to change.
Okay. So in 1996, if you could elaborate, what started changing at that? And you were how old at that point?
I was 12.
Oh, you said you were 12 years
Yeah,
old.
yeah.
So at 12 years old, what changed at that point?
Well, at 12 years old, that's for one when I started to realize what independence looked like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I started understanding some stuff at this point, you know, because my dad was the type of father where, oh no, you can have it. Absolutely. And I mean, every time, no matter what we need, we can get it. Huh? Here, 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 here. Never said no, but you was going to pay it back. You won't
Okay.
pay it back. You know, so my dad had this thing, everything I give you, you're gonna give me back half of it. You're gonna pay me back half of it, because if I continue to give, and y'all don't put nothing back, you ain't gonna have nothing when I'm gone. That was that was his saying. So those times they were tough, but they made sure we didn't know nothing about it.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
made sure
Okay.
we didn't know nothing about it. But when I turned around 96, that's when everything started to change, and I started stepping into my own a little bit with having money in my pocket, going places to do things, and realizing that, dang, this person, he ain't got it. So here, have this. You know what I'm saying? Then I started to really then them telling us that y'all are blessed. You're blessed. You're blessed. You're blessed to have. Well, I really started to understand what that meant at that time, because I'm getting a little bit older, and I'm like, man, you know what? It is worse a lot of other places, man, because I'm looking at my friends. I'm looking at the people that, you know what I'm saying? So it really started to set in at that point that things were changing drastically. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right. So now, we're 12. We're growing up. Got a little money in our pocket, and in 1996, got a little money in our pocket. So now let's move forward. So the finances. So you became very known for a person who knew how to make money. It seemed like whatever you touched, um, if it didn't turn to gold, it definitely turned. It turned. So you became known as that guy who saw things a little bit different, and different things that you have touched, that you have put your hand on. So people out here right now that are in the struggle, that may not have a dad at all, let alone a dad that was doing what you did, that was able to give. People are not, I mean, the toy comes second right now. They're just trying to feed their family. They're just trying to keep a roof over their head. So what could we do, or what is something that we could say, or to show, or to tell people that are in the struggle right now, that's constantly trying to make ends meet just to make it, that's living from that paycheck to paycheck? What is some things that we can talk about that can help alleviate or help to make that easier for people, especially in the
Well,
economy that we're in right now?
well, you know what? Mindset. Mindset is the first thing, because I'm gonna tell you something. I did an interview in 2009 when 2010. I did an interview. I was getting ready to go over to the Philippines and play basketball, and the guy Josh that was interviewed me and did articles on me in high school. So I knew him, from the news station, and he asked me a question. He said, Jarveious, he says, you seem to be very, very sharp-minded for your age, because people normally your age, they're not thinking the way that you're thinking. Like, his exact words was, you literally feel like you can have the whole world in your hand. And he asked me, where did I get that mindset from? And this is what I'll tell everybody, Mr. Shell. I think the difference between us and a lot of people is we were never around nobody that told us we couldn't do it.
Wow, you just
Like,
hit
for
the
real.
nail on the head. You just
Like,
took
for
the
real, for
nail
real.
and hit it on the head. Yeah,
My
exactly.
mom and dad, my dad had this thing to where my dad was a loved person, but he was not a liked person. I'm talking about even by his own family, because of the principles he stood for. My dad was his family first, and nobody else mattered at that time. You don't even exist until his core family is good. And that's how he lived. And they'll tell you, boy, Big Bob, he's all about his family, and nothing else mattered to my dad until home was good. So the things we've always heard coming up is, ain't nothing to a failure but a try. Ain't nothing to a failure but a try. Ain't nothing to a failure but a try. Or you'll never know it if you don't do it. Or if you're going to
I
do
love
it,
that.
and you're going to make me spend my money, you better do it all the way and do not play around because it ain't cheap. So we always had constant, you can do it.
Right.
If this is what you want to do, we just never had nobody in our ear making us believe anything other than that. So it's like a little child. I was giving a lady an example the other day, a lady I was trying to bring on my team, and I say, watch that little boy go running and get that ball. He gonna go right in them bushes. He ain't gonna think about no snake. He ain't gonna think about no spider, no nothing. He finna go get that ball. I said, now let one of us have to go get that ball. And watch what we do. We're gonna be like, and you gonna look to make sure ain't no snake down there. The child does not know I cannot do it.
Yeah.
They don't know.
That is, you're so right about that.
So
yes.
when they go do something, they're gonna go do it, and they're not thinking about that word fear at all.
Right. There you go.
At all. So when you're in that type of environment, you know, you like, hey, I'm finna go for it, and if it don't work, I'm gonna try it again. And that's the mentality that we grew up with. So I gotta put this out there. I'm talking to another young lady about 2 months ago, and I'm telling her about the business, and I'm trying to bring into the business, and I guess she had a different type of agenda. Now this is going to play into me when I'm talking about we got to change our mindset. She had a different agenda that I didn't know about. So I'm thinking about business, she's thinking about something else. So once she showed that she wasn't interested in the business, she made a statement that caused her some choice words that she didn't like, and she said, for a person to be doing so well, why don't you go get your own house and your own car and your own blah, and your own this, that, and the third? And I'm like, okay, you know, I get that question sometimes from people, you know. But here's the thing, Mr. Shell, most people don't understand the dynamic of family. This house that I'm in right now, we built this with our bare hands. Our bare hands, paid for out of pocket. And this house is for one reason. It's what you call a family house. And my dad said, if anybody ever getting into trouble, or you got something that it ain't going right, blah, 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 you will always have a house here to come rebuild, get yourself on track, and go back and do what you got to do. Now, I make more than enough money to go out and just buy a house and get a mortgage.
Yeah.
Right? But why should I just go get the mortgage? Right? I just told you we built this house, right? So what makes you think I don't want to build a second one?
Well, what you're saying is that, are you saying that the norm, or what other people see as the norm, you don't have to prove or do because somebody else think you should?
Well, we could talk about that too. When somebody's, because many people, okay, Mr. Shell, take for instance, this sweater I have on right now, okay? A lot of people wonder why I always wear sweaters. I wear sweaters. I tell them, I said, baby, this ain't just no sweater. This is cashmere. It's cashmere. This ain't no cotton sweater. So I'm not going to go out there and sweat like the normal person would in a cotton sweater because of that heat. This is cashmere. The sun shoots straight through it. The breeze is there. I feel cool and I'm good, right? So I dress the way I dress for a reason. And I have people say, well, why you do why? Because I dress for what I'm looking for. I'm in business. I'm looking for business people, right? So people will try to trick you into doing things that they feel you should do in order for you to prove to them that you're doing a particular thing. See, I'm not just going to go spend money just to spend it, just for people to say, Jarveious got it. He got it. Well, no, actually, it's quite the opposite in most cases. When you see people with all of that stuff, no, they don't got it because you don't understand that what you're doing is foolish. So the mindset of me being here is the exact reason why we built the house. So I sent that young lady a snapshot, Miss Rochelle, of, let's say, Chase Bank. And she say, what is that? I said, remember you tried to call me broke? She said, yeah. I say, that's how much money I made last year. That's my 1099. And she was like, oh, okay. She's like, so why don't you go spend some of that money? And I say, see, y'all got to change that.
Yeah.
Y'all got to change that mentality. I know what I'm doing. I say, but listen, I have a plan. I'm not going to go out here and buy one of these people's houses. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to build my house. But I already have my property. I say, no, I'm going to leave out here. I'm going to go build. I say, and it's only going to take me a few months to build it. I say, you see my nieces and nephews? I said, my future kids? I said, that's the reason why I'm not spending the money the way you think I should be, is because I have a bigger goal.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking about right now. I'm thinking about years down the road, or if something was to happen to me. And I'll close with this on this topic. And I say, go and look at the richest men in the world and look at some of the houses that they have and some of the cars that they drive. I say, then come back and ask me that question. She took too long. I said, look at Warren Buffett. This man still driving his car from 1998. So we just have to change our mindset, Miss Rochelle, with how we do things, and don't let nobody talk us into doing things and spending money that you ain't got no business spending.
Right. Yeah.
Build a family dynamic of something that when your children is in trouble, when your children are in need, they don't have to go out there and get swallowed up by society and end up at the point of no return, their credit jacked up. And now that person, they can't bounce back, and they're spending the rest of their life working, getting out of debt. Everybody needs to be focused on building that type of wall of protection around their family. And my father, he did that.
Yeah. I like that you mentioned mindset, because I love what you just said about one of the biggest things was mindset. And I think growing up, like you were just saying about a kid, they don't know fear, they don't know danger, and they just go off and they just do stuff. They and that's why you see them broken arms and all that stuff, because they just go after the thing. And but a lot of time we grow up and we're told, you can't do that, or that's not for you, or money don't grow on trees, or we do, and not because your family trying not to give or do. Maybe a lot of times they didn't have, and that's what we hear a lot of times. And so we fall into that same pattern. We're so careful. We don't want to take a chance. No, I might lose it if I do that. No, that might mess up. No, so I don't. Then we don't, and we stay in that same. We go, and then our family stay in that same type of barely making, as they say, ends meet. And nobody changed unless somebody come and break the cycle. Right. So I love what you just said about mindset, because mindset does play a huge role into that. Because I can't say that. I think we grew up a lot of the same way, but I always knew that I could do something bigger and better. I always knew that it was something more for me than just that standard thing. I never just wanted that. And so, and even at this age, about to turn another year in a couple of days. And so, but even now, I'm still striving for that thing. Right. I'm still striving for that thing, because what I do know, for me, an average job won't do it for me. Even if you're making good money, I'm still on somebody else, building somebody else's thing. And that's okay, until you don't need to do that, if that's what you have. I'm saying it like that. But what we have to do, like you said, we have to change hear, change the way we think a lot of times, because it's like, and you're not going to change it overnight. That
Right.
takes a lot of hearing something over and over and over, because it's just like an onion. You just keep peeling back those layers until you could get to where you're like, okay, I can do this now. And
Right.
then you're going to find another area that you're going to pull back, because it's not going to be like a one and done.
Right.
It's going to be a constant thing that you have to do to get out of that certain way of thinking. You know, your parents only did the best they could, or whoever raised
Right.
you, they only did the best that they could on what they knew, you know, because it's not always been easy for people.
Right.
And especially when you had a family, when you had kids, you're a single parent, whatever that may have been, even if it was two parents, it still wasn't very easy to do that, because your family was not the norm. That was not the norm
Right.
to grow up, you know, back then. It just wasn't the norm. And so after we do mindset, which I think plays a big role on that. Then what? Okay, so now our mind is starting to change. So what would you? So now that our mind is starting to shift a little bit, if we do that, how would you say? We said change our mindset. What would be some of the things that you're talking about for people to be able to do that?
Okay, so once your mindset start to change, then obviously you're gonna start seeing the world in a different way. So you need to do one or two things. You need to start reading a lot of books of the people that have what you want, and you have to be specific. If you want to be a artist, then you need to go look up Michelangelo. If you want to be a basketball phenomenon, go look up Kobe or LeBron. You know, if you want to be a actor or actress, go look up Denzel or Tom Cruise or, you know, Sandra Bullock or Maya Moore. Maya Angelou. Go look up whoever that person is.
Yeah.
So you can ask. When I was coming up to play basketball, my father told me one thing. He said, "Boy, I can't teach you how to play basketball because I ain't never played basketball."
Mm-hmm.
So my dad, he'll shoot, but he never tried to teach me. He couldn't. So I would learn from my brother and everyone else. You got to be specific on the thing that you want to do, and then go find that person, and then prayerfully, you can either get in contact with that person some way, or maybe that person wrote a book, and they don't put their journey in a book. Reading is key, Mr. Shelley. My dad told me this right here. He said, this is reading the Bible. He say every time you read, you borrow the person's mind temporarily. Whoever you read them from, you're borrowing their mind temporarily because they're telling you about themselves or something they've been through. So why wouldn't you want to go read a book of the person that have done the exact thing that you want to do, so that you can borrow their mind at that time? A lot of my mentors are dead. I never met them. I never met them, but I feel this close to them because I don't read so much of their material, and I don't learn so much from them. I'm like, my gosh, I feel like this man was my next door neighbor.
Right.
I don't consume so much knowledge from that person. So once you get your mindset right, now is the time to go get around those people that you want to be around. That's going to help lead you to the next place, or you need to start reading. One of the two, because you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. That's just true.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Yeah. I love that, because I was been told that, you know, quite a few years ago, that leaders are readers. And these days, I don't usually read a book, like sit and read, because but I listen. Like I was listening to a book. I was in Chicago this weekend on the way back. What was I doing? I was listening to a book on the way back, you know. So we had the music on for a little bit, but I said, I'm gonna get on my book, because that was a time my car, I don't know what music is out, honestly.
Right.
I don't know no doggone music, because my car is usually like my library. And I get in there and I want to hear and I want to listen, because, you know, I can say, if I want to be a speaker, or if I want to do more of this broadcasting or whatever, who do I know? Who's done interviews? You go and you follow those people if they've been successful, And so people are like, well, I don't have a mentor. Your mentor don't have to be right next to it. You, like you just
Right.
said, it can be a book. It can be, we have so much stuff on YouTube, and you can follow a person, you know, learning. If you follow, like this weekend, we were showed some things that one of the ladies was showing us, like if you were like in real estate, she was showing us a lot of the places that she was showed, and showed how what she did years ago in building a lot of homes
Mm-hmm.
in Chicago. And and I was amazed at her journey, you know, because
Mm-hmm.
she had done some different things, and I was amazed at that journey. And so, if I wanted to be in real estate, I would be like, okay, how did you do this? What did you do? You
Right.
know, show me how to, because you got to be able to learn how to do it from somebody who's had success. If you just keep following somebody that's like a just somebody you just reaching for, but find somebody, if you want what you know what you want, then follow. You got to follow that person or follow some people who have done
Mm-hmm.
exactly what it is that you want. If you want to write a book, then find somebody who's a great artist, like you just said. And so I love that, because it is. And if you're the smartest cookie in your cookie jar,
You're in the wrong
what they
jar.
need to do, what has to do,
Find another
what they have to do,
jar.
find another jar, because you can't grow. You can't grow. You are stagnated right here. And so if
Right.
you're the smartest cookie, you better hop out of that cookie jar and go find you another one
Right.
where somebody's like, I don't know what
Another.
the heck are they talking about. No, no, no. But that's why you're there, to learn, to push you,
Right.
to make you better. And
Right.
if you don't think what we're talking about is going to help you with your finances, it's going to help you, because it's going to help you to grow to where you want to go. And then
Mm-hmm.
hopefully that'll be something that you can make money from.
Right.
I was told years ago, whatever that thing that comes easy, like you could play basketball.
Mm-hmm.
You were a basketball, and I'm sure you didn't just go out one day and you just start shoot a few. You shot a little bit, and some people picked you to become a basketball star. No, you had to be. How many balls did shoot every day or every night? You know,
Right.
like Michael Jordan said, he was the worst, but he kept on doing it till he got better.
Right.
Right. So you had to grow that craft, whatever that thing was that you want. You know, and now
Yes.
you are into a different type of business. You're successful in that business. You know, it didn't start out your first year, but as
Right.
things went along and you follow the people that had success and they saw you, you became much better at it. And I
Mm-hmm.
love what you just said about nobody told me freaking no. When you hear that no, when you keep hearing it ringing, you got to say, I'm done with that, because
Mm-hmm.
otherwise you'll stay right here.
Right.
You will never be able to grow. You will stay stagnated right here. So we have to be able to get out there to where we can grow up, so where we can
Right.
grow and leap to where it is the thing that we want.
Facts.
You know, so I love that. I love that. So, so as far as now finances, so you have been known as the guy who knows how to. I've seen you do some things
Mm-hmm.
over the time that we have been around each other for a little while now, and I've
Mm-hmm.
seen you come in and do some things that in businesses and companies that they didn't even see, that's
Mm-hmm.
been around, and you've come in and you dissected these things and showed them, well, if you do it this way, you can get to this much faster. And so
Mm-hmm.
it's your, I don't know, you just got a special gift. I don't know what I'm not really sure what that is, but I know you're really good with the numbers and things like that. And so what would you say to someone that wants success? So you already told them, okay, mindset, um, find that person that have what you want, then follow after that person, or
Mm-hmm.
people. You can have many mentors. It don't have to be just one. You
Right.
don't have to have just one mentor. You can have many mentors. Is that right, Mr. Wright?
Yes. Yes. I mean, get as many as possible.
Okay. Yeah. And then you could set a goal, because I just said it yesterday. I was writing in my journal. I'm going to finish a book once a month. Now it's gonna be audible probably, because I'm gonna be able to sit down and write and probably read a book once a month. But I
Right.
can definitely listen to a book once a month, and it
Uh-huh.
just
Uh-huh.
grows you, because that right itself help you to peel back that onion.
Right.
Every time you go to a book, you're gonna learn something. Like, oh my God, even if you read it, you read that same book over and over, you'll be like, you're gonna learn something every time, and you're gonna get it all the first time. So you
Right.
can just
Right.
constantly learn. So what would you? Let me see. Hold on. Yeah. What would you say to someone who does want success? They're starting to change their mindset. They're starting to see a bigger, a bigger, a more open focus, and where they can say, okay, I do want that. I mean, what else can they do to help them to get to the success that they want for them and for their family, and to maybe to teach other people, because they don't want to keep staying. Somebody got to break the mold. Somebody
Right.
has to break the mold, or either if I know a girl and I can say this, and she said, well, my mother was she worked in a nursing home. My grandmother worked in a nursing home. Her mother worked in a nursing home, and my daughter just started working in a nursing home. And I'm like, do y'all see a trend? Do you see the trend? Do you see that trend? And it just becomes a normal thing. It just
Right.
become normal. And so you back and guess where that kind of leads.
Right.
Poverty all day long, constantly trying to make ends meet.
They
Right?
they, they
So
ain't supposed to
yeah,
meet.
they're not.
Yeah.
They're not supposed to meet.
They ain't supposed to meet.
But that's all you
I'm
hear. You hear that quite a bit.
right. I'm glad you said that, because I was trying to see how I was going to say it. Because don't get me wrong, y'all. Jobs are needed. Okay.
Thank God for them. Yes,
Job,
thank God for them.
jobs are needed.
Yes,
Somebody's going to have to open up doors. Somebody's got to cook the food. Somebody got to be the garbage man. Somebody has to be the hostess to invite people. There's some skills out there that people have to perform in order to get paid.
right.
I'm just going to say I'm not that person. I'm not that person. And you don't have to be that person. Yes, jobs are for people. They don't have to be for you, though. They don't have to be for you. Now, in saying that, Ms. Rochelle, I'm going to say this because, again, I don't want to offend anybody. Success looks different to everybody. Okay?
Exactly.
It looks different to
Exactly.
everybody. So your ceiling might be at that job.
Right.
That might be your ceiling. And being that success don't have no one definition, I think they say the best definition they could come up for success was the progressive realization of a
Of a
worthy
worthy
idea.
idea.
That's the best they can do. So that's why you'll hear us say, what does success look like for you?
Okay.
Right? So it looks good for everybody. If you can pay your bills,
Mm-hmm.
and you're good and you feel like that's a success to you, hey, have at it.
Right.
But for the people that want to live an uncommon lifestyle, you're not going to be able to follow common sayings and rules.
Yeah.
You're not going to be, you can't think like a common person and have uncommon results. Because, Miss Rochelle, I've been broke and had money. I'm going to tell you what, this side over here is a lot better.
Yeah.
Being broke.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah. Well, oh
It
yeah.
is a
They
lot
said
better.
they said it's right up there with they said it's right up there with oxygen. That's what I
With
heard.
oxygen. When
It's
people
right
say
up there with oxygen.
we don't need it. Yeah, but it's right there with oxygen. So
Yeah.
you got to come to a point in your life to where you say, you know what? I don't got here with my best thinking. I don't use up my best thinking. And I'm where I am right now. And everybody listening to this broadcast, you can do this exercise. Look at your life. Look at your life. And you don't got there what you believe is your best thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And Miss Rochelle, if a person is at that time, at that place in their life where they've gotten themselves there and they don't
Mm-hmm.
utilize their best thinking and life don't look good, it's time for you to listen to somebody else.
Mm.
You can't listen to you no
Mm-hmm.
more.
Okay. No. Don't you? You better say that. Say that again.
You
I want
can't.
you to hear that again. Say that again. You
If
got there with your best. Come on now.
it's so true. If you're in a place in your life right now that you do not like, you have gotten there with your very best thinking. And don't say you haven't, because if you hadn't, you would be in a much better place than you are right now. If you're in that place, it's time for you to listen to somebody else. That means, and it's okay, Miss Rochelle, it's okay to say that you didn't have it figured out. This is where we mess up at. I sat down and I asked a lady that you and I know, respect, and love very well, Miss Melissa Oboyote. I asked her, I say, what made you step out of the field and go create your own? Like, because I already know where my mind was at. I asked her, what made you do that? Because I'm curious.
Why?
I want to know, because I have a higher ceiling for myself. And I'm like,
Why?
I want to own my own company, so I want to know what made this sister do it. Like, so I'm like this. I'm eating it up. Even things that she said that I was already aware of, I'm taking it in like I didn't even know it, because I wanted to keep saying it. I wanted to keep talking.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just soaking it up and soaking it up, soaking it up. And even in that conversation with her, she said, Jarvis, you can do it. You can do this.
Mm-hmm.
You can do this. You know, because we having that dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
So you making the decision to say, I got to listen to somebody else, because obviously I don't have it figured out. Like, I need to do something about this. And us, especially us, Black folks as a culture, we have done so well with so little.
Come on.
We have done so well to me calling you and saying, Miss Rochelle, look, I just want to know, what is it that you're doing? Like, how?
Yeah.
Teach me. Like, I want to know.
If you're hungry, when
You
you're
know what I'm
hungry.
saying?
Yeah.
We have this thing about us that we will be weak if we reach out to a person and say, teach me, how did you do that? Like, I want to know what I got to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it
I
all
want
goes
to
back to
know.
what you just said. You just said, if you've gotten there and you did it yourself, and you're at everything you've done, you did it with what you know and how you were able to orchestrate and got there. And this is where you're at, but you're still not
I'm listening, Mr. Sheriff.
where it is that you want to be. And you said it's okay to reach out and ask somebody else. How did you get there? If it is you want to open up your own business, you want to open up your own store, you want to write a book, you want to do, it's okay to reach out. Can you show me the ropes that you took to get there? I
Right.
like that. You just did a quote a minute ago, and I wanted you to go back and explain the quote that you just did. Um,
Which one?
in the book. Mm, 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 mm. Okay. I wanted to get, and I can't even get the quote. I can't get it out. It's one that a worthy idea. Worthy idea.
Oh, okay.
The worthy
The
idea.
Stranger's Secret?
Yes, strangest secret. Now explain that for people who can understand it. Break it down in layman's.
Oh, the definition of success?
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, the progressive
Of a worthy
part
idea. Mm-hmm.
is being in search of something. That means you have to be active.
Yeah,
You have to be actively looking. So that's the progressive part. It says the progressive realization. So the realization is what? Waking up and realizing that it's a problem.
yeah, yeah,
Ms. Rochelle, people got to wake up and first realize that it's a problem.
yeah. Exactly.
And say, okay, I want more, I need more, so now I'm finna be in search of it. So now you're progressive, you're moving, you're active, you're thinking, you're looking, you're searching. And this is even biblical.
Yeah.
You asking, you shall
Receive.
You know what I mean? This is biblical, right? So now you're actively looking for it, and faith without works is dead. So when you out searching for stuff, man, you never, I mean, me and you came together.
I was asking.
If you
I asked
wouldn't have been
questions.
actively searching, we
Yeah.
wouldn't have never met.
Yeah.
So when you
I reached out.
there,
Yeah.
when you out there looking for, searching for, the people are out there, Miss Rochelle, because just like people are looking for us, we're looking for them.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So you got to actively be searching. Now, the worthy idea part is a little bit tricky, because now, Miss Rochelle, you can't put your stamp of approval on what I'm doing,
right,
and say, well, this is what I think what you're doing is worth. Well, see, that won't hold up in court.
right.
So the worthy idea, that's up to you.
Yeah.
If you deem it as worthy,
Right.
it ain't got nothing to do. We can care less what anybody else say. A fireman, to me, is an extremely successful person, because that's the progressive realization of a worthy idea. A teacher is extremely successful to me. That's the progressive realization of a worthy idea. Those things people play down because it's not attached to what? A high ticket dollar. Well, you confusing success with accomplishments and accolades. You know what I'm saying? The accolades and the accomplishments is what you go after when you start earning those big dollars.
Right. Right.
You know, but success is the progressive realization of a worthy idea.
So what you're saying is that if somebody is doing that thing that they love to do, and whatever they're making from it, but it's something they want to do, and they're happy, and it's their craft, is what they want. That is, I don't care if it's Washington. It don't matter really what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's what you have deemed worthy for yourself, that you love, whether it's a teacher, whether it's a writer, whether it's somebody working at it don't really matter what the thing is. As long as you, and you started out saying everybody's success, it don't always mean the same thing. It doesn't always mean the same thing for everybody.
Right.
Once I've discovered what that thing is that I want to do, it may not still be a high ticketed price, but it's high ticketed to you. And that's and that's the thing that's most important, when it's high ticketed to you and you go after that thing. My thing that I always say, we live this life one time. We have right now. And because as long as you're living in the dash, you still can go and create that thing that you want.
Right.
Don't say I'm too old, I'm too young. I know you're perfect where you are.
Right.
Because what you don't want to go is leave here with a bunch of woulda, gonna, about to, shoulda. I'm too old to. No.
Right.
Go after that thing. Because after a while, when you get about 9 years old, no, it's probably a little bit too late at that point if you sort of see that. So what I'm saying is that go after that thing, that worthy idea that is for you. Because like he just said, success means different things to everybody, and you have to know what it is that you want. Right?
But here's the thing, though. Because remember I said earlier, that worthy idea gets a little tricky.
Right.
This is where you have to become creative. And Les Brown talks about this in his book, Ready to Win. Once you discover that thing that you love to do, now then this is where some type of switch has to kick on and say, now, how do I go get the world to pay me for it?
There you go. That's it.
Now this is where you have to become creative.
Yeah.
Like Steve, and I'm not even I ain't got to go there. But Steve Harvey had a good friend who at that time just seemed to be the best one that can mow lawns.
There you go.
He was mowing lawns, and he told him, he said, man, when I see you mow a lawn, it don't look like no other lawn. And I read between the lines, Steve Harvey, a black man, probably in the neighborhood where he's probably the only black man, and his friend coming to cut his yard and probably ain't cutting nobody else's yard but his. And he say, man, when you cut my yard look better than everybody else's yard in the neighborhood. He said, can't nobody cut yards like you.
Yeah.
You ain't got to be jealous or envious of me because I'm in show business. Can't nobody cut yards like you, man.
He
And you
mastered
know
his
what he did?
craft. Yeah.
He went and he started learning from people that had big landscape companies. Now his friend, and it took him 3 years, I believe. His friend has a multi-million-dollar lawn business.
Yes.
Because he had him search for that thing. He said, look, man, you great at what you do. Now let's go find some people to pay you. Les Brown say success is finding what you love to do and finding somebody that's willing to pay you
for it. Yeah,
you know,
mastering your craft. Go ahead and say, if you cook chicken, then make that chicken better than anybody.
Make that chicken better than anybody else.
He talked about Colander started out with one pie, as he say.
Yep.
She started out with one pie, and she didn't even go in business for that. She was trying to help somebody out. One pie, trying to save this guy's business. One pie. He said, well, they like my pie, so she brought another pie, but then they ate that pie. She brought it next day. It went so fast that people asked for their own pie. That's Marie Callender, guys. Where's Marie? Everybody should know Marie Callender. Right. She started with one pie.
One pie.
And now she is in everybody's stores all around. So you can definitely, like I said, whatever that thing is for you, you know, you say you master that craft, and then the thing that comes the easiest to you is singing, cooking, frying chicken, mowing lawns, cutting hair. Figure out a way to make a living from it. That's it. That's it.
It's that simple, Mr. Shell.
Yeah.
It's that
Mr.
simple.
Wright, I must say now, what's one last thing you can leave with our audience? Because I know you said there's no way we can do this for an hour. We at 9:05. We're over 5 minutes.
Oh yeah. Well, I had to make some things happen in order to make this happen. An hour. I wasn't expecting that.
I know. It's what I'm saying. It's going to go in that way.
Well, you know what? Let me do this, Mr. Shell. If I'm just going to give y'all my journey and what's going on in my life right now in real time, which is the scariest, most gratifying, and satisfactory time I have ever in my life witnessed. Okay? I'm talking about to date. What time is it? See, I know that ain't right. I ain't had this watch in a long time.
Time is it?
It's 9:06.
9:06.
And today is July what? 15th?
15th. Yeah.
July 15th at 9:06 Eastern. I've been in this industry since 2010. It's amazing when done right industry of home-based businesses. I love it. Never seen myself being here doing this now because I thought it was basketball. But coming here, dealing with people, learning people. See, Mr. Shell, I came into a place where my first company, I didn't really see nobody that looked like me. I come in and boy, I was like a flying milk. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. Okay. So automatically my mind says, go and become the best you can be. Because given your circumstances that's right here in front of you, you are going to have to be twice as good as everybody that's in this room in order for you to get your just due. That's a real conversation I had with myself. You're going to have to be twice as good as everybody you see. And my gosh, thankful to Les Brown and Jim Rohn and Tony Robbins, which came a little bit later. John Maxwell, these people, I went to listening at them listening to them. I mean, I'm digesting this information because I got to become very good at this home-based business thing. Now, I don't gave up basketball. Had two of my closest friends say, man, you crazy for doing that. So I'm saying to myself, oh, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that because now I'm finna make you regret saying that. So now what? I have my reputation on the line now, Miss Rochelle. I gotta become successful at this, or I'll never be able to introduce it to anybody because they're gonna always say you should have stuck with basketball.
Yeah.
So I had to become successful. See how that bridge got burnt?
Yeah.
Of ain't no turning around. I'm finna figure this out.
Right.
I burnt the bridge and say, let's figure this out. Now go and learn this new territory of entrepreneurship because it was brand new to me. And I went to studying and listening and watching and attending, spending money. I'm going on trips. I'm asking people, can I talk to them? I'm doing phone calls, Zooms. I'm doing whatever it takes for me to learn and become a professional in this industry of network marketing. I was very strategic with it. And I said, I'm gonna learn this industry because if I'm gonna build a team of people that want to follow me, I'm gonna have to know what I am doing, or I'm gonna build a team and it's gonna collapse, right? I done that, and I built the teams, and I came in and I seen what I thought was wrong, and I give my advice and say, hey, if you switch this or if you change that, I think it'll be a little bit better. And companies listen, and I seen the turnaround in the companies. I seen the excitement in the companies, and I'm like, man, you know, one day I need to start doing this for myself because I'm sitting up here giving these people all these ideas. Then years later, I started getting to the point to where, okay, now if I give you this idea, how do I get a kickback on it? Because I don't got smarter. And I know what I'm bringing to the company is real. I could never get no kickback on it. You know what I mean? So I started moving into that mind frame. Me and Jasmine was talking the other night. Around about 2016 or 2017, I started saying to myself, I'm going to start my own company. Because if I can do what I'm doing for these people, I can do it for myself. It'll be hard, but everything is hard, right? And it's not going to be easy. So, Mr. Rochelle, after times of building and helping companies and 14 years of searching for everything that I want in one company, which we know we can't find that. That's why we do multiple, right? Because we love what's here, we love what's here, and we love what's there. So we'll do it because we can't get everything that we want in one company. We thought. But you know how you can get it all in one company? You go create it. And that's the place where I'm at now, of stepping out of the field and into ownership as a CEO of my very own social impact platform, which I plan on launching on September the 5th. So now I get to take, go ahead, you finna say something?
Yeah, I was going to, so hold on. We got about 5 more minutes. So, but I did want to say that, so you were saying you were scared, you were doing, so I've heard people say, do it scared. If it didn't scare you, it ain't big enough. That's what they said. If it didn't scare you, it's not big enough. So I love that you decided to do something that you've always wanted to do, and now you decide to jump in both feet. So that to me is like they say, burn the boat, burn the boat, burn the boat. So you gotta, it's the ocean, you can't swim back. So you gotta burn the boat and figure your way back to, and so, and that's what it sounds like you did. You burnt the boat, and now you decided to go out on, and like I said, you figured it, you figured it out, and you're figuring it out. You may not know, they said you may not know how to do it all. Just make a step. Things will start coming to your ideas, people and everything, it'll all, but you got to make that step first. And it seemed like you did that. Very proud of you
Well,
for
you know,
doing.
it's something that, and you know, the crazy part about it, Miss Rochelle, I'm in a weird place to where it's it's terrifying,
Yeah,
but it's not
but
terrifying because I'm afraid I'm gonna fail.
yeah, yeah.
That
It's just a
part
big step. Yeah.
is so far from my mind
Yeah.
because I
Right.
understand one thing: when you're building something for the right reason, and your number one goal is 1,000% focused on helping the person, is somebody that'll back you up and make sure that that thing comes to fruition. Okay, it's somebody. I ain't got to say his name because it sounds different to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But there's somebody that will back you up and let you know, okay, you plan on doing the right thing, right? So why not? If you plan on doing the right thing, why be afraid? If you plan on doing the right thing, go do it. And that's where I'm at. I get a chance to block out everything that I've ever heard, everything I've ever encountered. Every time I've gotten mad and came into a company and said, why? Like, I don't have to worry about that no more because every day I'm on the phone with those developers, I'm telling them, okay, take that away. I don't want that. Yeah, but Mr. Wright, I don't want it. I don't want that. So taking the time to slowly put together what I feel that the people are going to love, and that's a safe place to bet it on because I'm thinking for the people. It is so rewarding. It's so rewarding because I can say finally that if you ain't got it all when you come here, it's just because you want it too much. You just want it too much. You just want it too much.
Right.
But to be in that space though, Miss Rochelle, to
It's sweet.
just say, man, I'm going to make it all come together for
Yeah.
the people and yourself. I'm just looking at the stair step of when I started.
Yeah.
Of when I started. And now being able to transfer to a different seat and give wisdom from a different view, you know, that 30,000 foot view is the most rewarding thing. And believe it or not, I sleep better now than I did through my other days of excitement of just, you know, month end or we got to build this thing and hurry up. I have more blood flow. I have more. I'm more excited. I have a faster approach, but I go to sleep earlier.
Okay.
Because I'm at such peace when I think about it, and I lay down at night, I just be like, whew.
Yeah. Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
Right.
Father, we gonna do it, you know. But people just got to keep going, man, and don't let nobody put no ceiling over you.
Yes.
You know, don't let nobody put no ceiling over you. I said this back in 2016 that I was going to one day start my own company. That was in 2016. And it took me to get into a company that I didn't like what they were doing to say time is now. So y'all just have to go find your time is now.
Right. So everything has a season, and now it's brought you here.
Yes.
So I just want to say congratulations to you, and not letting anything stop you from going ahead and building your dream. And you know, whether you get some knocks and everything, because like I said, I heard Les Brown say, if you get knocked down, you can, and you fall on your back, if you can look up, you can get up and keep it going. So I'm so proud of you for doing that. And guys, this is not just for Mr. Wright. This is for anyone. Not necessarily, you may not want to start your own company, but whatever that thing is for you, whatever that thing is for you, it is for you. You know what that thing is and go after the people that has already created it.
Right.
It's already created it, or people and start to find if they're having the success that you want, you know, your mentors and things like that. Start following, start looking at listening to books, start reading books, start listening to audibles and things like that to get you better, to make you
Mhm.
better. So, Mr. Wright, I want to thank you so much for being on our channel. We really talk with Rochelle. I really enjoyed having you on tonight. It was a blessing, and I hope you guys got something from that, because he said a lot in this time. And for someone, he said, Mr. Rochelle, that's an hour is a long time. Well, we done went longer than I've been with anybody on this one right here. So but I'm glad that he was able to get on, and they're having storms. I don't know if the storm is still going on now.
Yeah,
And
we still ain't got no power,
yeah,
so
so I mean, yeah, so I'm glad he got his laptop, it's now, or iPad or whatever, to get him through this. So guys, until we see you again, thank you, Mr. Wright. I
yes,
appreciate you
ma'am.
coming on tonight. Thank you all for hopping on, and really, really appreciate it. And we'll be back every Monday evening at 8 o'clock, Talk with Rochelle, with another great topic next week. So have a great
All right.
evening. Have a great evening, Mr.
Blessings.
Wright, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you for now. Thank you for now. Goodbye.